Hello everyone. Today we are here to discuss the concept of collective bargaining, and basically this concept is used within the organization by the two parties, that is employees and employers, to sort out any issues. Before going to the session, we'll have a look at the learning objective of this session. So the first objective is the concept, how this concept is used in the organization, what is the importance of collective bargaining, uh, talking about organizational context. Next is the types of collective bargaining we are going to discuss that are used in the organization, and finally we will have a discussion on the process of collective bargaining. So let's start with the concept of collective bargaining. Basically, this term is coined by the famous authors Sidney and Beatrice Webb. It is an ongoing process of negotiation between the representative of workers and the employers to establish the conditions of employment or the terms of employment. And collectively, the determined agreement may cover not only wages but several other hiring practices, layoff, terminations, promotions, issues related to working hours, uh, working conditions, and discipline, and several other benefits program. Talking about the definition of the collective bargaining, all negotiations that take place between an employer, a group of employers, or one or more employers, organization at one hand, and on one or more workers, organizations on the other, for determining working conditions and terms of employment, or regulating relations between employers and workers, or regulating relations between employers or their organization and a workers organization or workers. Means to say, if you try to conclude the definition, that means keep always negotiation, for negotiation purpose there must be two parties, and that party is going to have a discussion on several issues basically that will be related to employment or several other terms of employment. So next, coming to the characteristics of collective bargaining, the first and the most important characteristics is collective. Means collective bargaining is not a single or individual process, that is a collective group process, we can say, where the representative of both the parties, that is employees and employees, sit together to negotiate the terms of employment. Next is the strength. We know that whenever we go for the bargaining process, there are two parties involved in the process. And the most important thing should be that both the parties must be equal in strength. Then only the negotiation process will be a good one or an effective one. Next is voluntary. While talking about the collective bargaining process, its main feature is that it is a voluntary process, means all the parties are voluntarily interested in participating in the bargaining process, and in a very open frame they talk about the issues, they talk about the matters that are related to their terms of employment based on the mutual trust and understanding. Next is formal. It is a formal process in which several employment issues, employment related issues are discussed, that may be at national, organization and workplace levels. Again, it is a flexible and continuous process and need not fixed or dynamic, means whenever and wherever required in the organization, it may take place for the development sake of the organization or to maintain a smooth relationship within the organization. Next is improvement. It is a method through which the relationship between the employees and the employers can be improved in the industry. Several kind of confusions may be cleared or avoided, and a smooth relationship can be maintained in the organization. Now, representation. Collective bargaining is basically happens between the representative of the employees and the management. Directly, the management or the employees are not involved in the process. So, whenever the collective bargaining process starts, the representative from both the sides take place in the whole process. Again, this is a dynamic process that goes on change over a period of time. We know that change is the law of nature, so nothing is constant in this situation. Everybody needs to change according to the time. If we are not changing, then somewhere it creates a problem. Therefore, collective bargaining also tries to change over a period of time, and expand the way of agreement, or the way how it is being implemented, and also the way of discussion needs to be enhanced for a better amicable solution. Next is continuous. Collective bargaining is a continuous and it begins with the agreement. Then the implementation of the agreement and further negotiations that happens between the representative or the executives of the unions or the association. Next is bipartite process. We know that collective bargaining is a bipartite process, means the two parties can take place, two parties can take part in this particular process. No third party is allowed to intervene the whole process. This is one of the rules that have a major concern over the whole process. Next, our concept is the principles of collective bargaining. There are certain principles of collective bargaining that needs to be followed from the end of the employees or from the end of the employers. So first, we'll discuss some principles that need to be followed from the side of the trade unions, in which whenever trade union representative should go for the bargaining process, they need to have a discussion with open mind on several issues. Whatever is in their mind, that need to be discussed in the meeting, and there should not be any room for confusion and misunderstanding. If we are not going to discuss on any issue in an open frame, again there will be a scope for further misunderstanding and confusion, then that will lead to again kind of conflict and dispute in the organization. And trade union should always be there to support its management, and always they should consider strike as the last resort. Some principles are also there for from the management side, that management should give proper recognition to the trade union that is functioning in their organizations, and whatever rules that are being framed by the government needs to be executed and needs to be reviewed at periodical in examined, or whether our employees are being benefited with that particular rules legislation that need to be supervised, and all the clauses that have been accepted in the meeting, that needs to be accepted in a very true spirit. Coming to the types of collective bargaining, there are basically two types of collective bargaining. The first one is conjunctive or distributive bargaining. In this process, what happens? Both the parties, employees and employer, basically tries to maximize their respective gains. Means you can say that both the parties wants their benefit at the cost of the loss of the other party, or we can say that it is based on the principle, my gain is your loss and your gain is my loss. Here, the employee wishes to have an increased wage or bonus for his work done, whereas from employer point of view, they wish to increase the workload of the employees as well as reduce the wages of the employees working in the organization. The next types of collective bargaining is cooperative or integrated. This plays a very positive role in maintaining the good relationship in the industry, and this type of the collective bargaining needs to be executed in the industry as well. What happens in this process? Basically, both the parties sit together, have a discussion on an issue, try to resolve their problems, and reach to an amicable solution. And that suits the most important thing of that in this type is the agreement that has been finalized suits to both the parties. Basically, we can see that this takes place in the organization during the time of economic crisis, and here both the parties are in the position to understand the situation of the other party, and they are ready to compromise with the situation that they are facing. Therefore, this concept is also termed as win-win situation for both the parties. Now, we have discussed two terms, that is collective bargaining and negotiation, but we need to discuss that whether these two concepts are similar or there is some difference exist. So, definition, we'll discuss the definition of collective bargaining as well as negotiation that are given by some authors. So, talking about negotiation, the coming together of two parties to confer with a view to making a jointly acceptable agreement, that is negotiation, and it is given by Gennard and Judge. Collective bargaining as a process by which employers on the one hand and representative of the employees on other hand attempt to arrive at agreements covering the conditions under which employees will contribute and be compensated for their services, that is given by Michael Jusius. Next, we can say that when we talk about negotiation, basically that is one-to-one conversation, and when we talk about collective bargaining process, that is a collective effort, means a group of people or association is involved in the collective bargaining process. Now, our next topic is the process of collective bargaining. in which several stages are there. So if we talk about the first stage of the process of collective bargaining, that is preparation for negotiation. In this step, what happens once a union has been declared as a bargaining unit, both the parties begin the ongoing activity of preparing for negotiations. And preparation for negotiation be composed of generally three activities. One is fact gathering, goal setting, and strategy development. And obviously for negotiations, data may be acquired from both internal as well as internal sources. It can be collected from the internal record of the company, or some external informations can be collected through statistics of the current economy. And the next step is contract negotiation. In this phase, negotiation generally begins with the union delivering to management a list of demands at the negotiating table. And by presenting many demands, the union creates significant space for later stages of negotiation. Now, the attempt is made for management's highest offer that approximates the lowest demands that the union is willing to accept. After that, the third step is reached, that is agreement. This phase begins with each side presenting their initial demands, and this goes on until the final agreement is reached. If the conclusion is reached and is accepted by all, then well and good, we move for the next step, that is union ratification. But if it is not, final agreement is not reached and is not acceptable by all, then again we move to further negotiations phase. So, if we are agree to the agreement, then we move to the next step, that is union ratification. And in this stage, negotiating team explains and put the agreement to union in front of a union members for vote. And if voted, this agreement is finalized. And the next step is contract administration. Contract administration is basically whatever agreement that have reached and that is being accepted by both the parties, then it is implemented successfully in the organization with the acceptance of both the parties. So these are all are the process that are being used for the successful collective bargaining process. And that's all for this session. Thank you.